Hey guys, it's Leanne. Welcome to my YouTube channel if you are new here. If you're not, then welcome back. So today's look is just a look on the eyes. It's just a smudged eyeliner and basically a little bit of bronzer as a wash of colour over the eyes. Yeah, this look is just a beginner friendly eyeshadow look. And any questions, just drop me a comment down below. I'll also leave my Instagram. If you want to see how to achieve this eyeshadow look, then keep on watching. Oh, also, please subscribe. So the first product I'm going to be going in with is the Fenty Beauty Brow MVP in the shade medium brown. I always start by using a little brush and just brushing up my own natural brow hairs, which are a mess at the minute, obviously, because I can't get them done because we're all in lockdown. So yeah, I'm just taking the pencil and I'm starting at the front of the brow. I'm just sketching a line underneath my own natural brow hairs. So just sketching the front of the brow, and then I'm just following the direction of my own natural hairs, and I'm doing just a soft flicker motion. At the top, I'm just gonna press a little bit harder, be a bit more firm when you're doing the outline at the top, and then I'm just following the direction down again. So I'm going to take the brush now and just brush that product up through the brows so I can see where the hairs are actually sparse and actually do still need filling in. So effectively I'm just going over with a second layer of product basically. And then at the front of the brow I angle the pencil this way, and then I just sort of flick up, which will give the impression of hair-like strokes at the front. So it'll look a lot more natural than holding it that way, because your brow hairs are going up at the front of the brow. So I'm just following my own natural brow hairs, the direction. Just brushing that product through again. Just going to go back over and then same again, just flick the product up at the front. So I'm just going to do the other brow, but I'll just do that off camera to keep things nice and efficient. So now that both the eyebrows are done, I'm just going to be going in with the P. Louise base in the shade Rumour number 2. And then I'm just going to be taking my Zoeva 144 brush. I'm just going to be using this as an eyeshadow primer. I much prefer using P. Louise's base over concealer. It's so much more thick and opaque. So I'm just packing this onto the lid, and then I'm just pressing over top, which will help to set the base. And then when I'm doing just underneath, I'm turning the brush flat on its side and letting the angle of the brush do the work. So I'm also just going to prime just underneath the eye, because that will come in useful for when we do our waterline colour. If you can see brush hairs in your base, then you're pressing it much too hard. I'm just being very, very gentle when I'm pressing this over the lids. So the first eyeshadow brush I'm going to be going in with is the Morphe M433 brush, and I'm going to be taking MAC Cosmetics Give Me Sun bronzer. So it's just a nice warm tone bronzer, and I'm just going to be packing this colour on top of that base. And the reason why I'm doing this, packing the actual colour down, is because if I just put a little bit and then started blending, the base is quite tacky. So by me just pressing the product on top, this is effectively setting the base, which means it won't go patchy, whereas it would if I just started putting a colour on and started like dragging it across the eyes. And if you actually do use this bronzer to actually bronze, then by using it on the eye, like the eyelids, it just ties the look together, making everything look just a little bit more natural. So I'm just going to buff away these edges now, and I'm only being very gentle. I'm just tickling these edges. I'm just doing circular motions just on the edges. So I'm just going to go back in now, pack that back on top again, a little bit just above the crease, tapping off any excess, and then I'm just going to go in and I'm just going to tickle these edges again. I'm going to be blending this all the way up to the brow. So a little bit more product again. So that's just given me a nice wash of colour. However, it hasn't really given the eye much dimension. So I'm going to be going in with another MAC Cosmetics Mineralised Skin Finish, but this one is in the shade Dark Deepest. That's just slightly darker. This one is slightly more warmer, I'd say. And I'm going to be going in with the Morphe Jeffree Star JS6 brush, and I'm focusing this more on the outer corner of the eye. So again, I'm just packing this on, and then I'm just going to tickle the edges of dark deepest to make sure it blends into the first shade, Give Me Sun. So this colour has just intensified the outer edges, as you can see. So I'm just going right up to the brow, and I'm just tickling the edges again and making sure that there's not a strong harsh line under the brow. We just want it to be blended because this is just a smoky, everyday, beginner friendly look. To do the smudgy liner, I'm going to be taking the MAC Cosmetics pencil in the shade Engraved, which is just a black pencil. As I was saying, I'm going to be using the MAC Cosmetics black pencil in the shade Engraved. All I'm going to be doing is just running this as close as I can to my own lash line. So I'm going from the inner corner just to where my own lashes end on the outer corner, so just here. So now I'm going to be taking the Morphe Jeffree Star JS10 brush, and I'm just going to be running this clean brush along the top of this eyeliner. So just making sure I've got an even coverage from the inner corner to the outer corner of my eye. And then I'm just going to press this brush on top of that eyeliner, which is what effectively really smudges it. I'm not sure if everyone can see that properly, but it's looking quite smudgy already. So now I'm going to be taking another Morphe Jeffree Star brush, and this is the JS11 brush. So it's just effectively a bigger version of this brush what I just used to smudge the eyeliner, but I'm going to be going in with this brush now. So I'm going to be using the Colour Drain Smoke Show eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to be taking this shade, which is just like a deep brown shade, to just smudge over where I put the eyeliner. So I'm just pressing that directly on top. Oh sorry, this shade was called Torch, I forgot to mention before. The deep brown shade is called Torch, but I'm going to be going in now with Flammable on the same brush, so the JS11 brush. So I'm just going to be pressing Flammable on top. And I'm just pressing Flammable slightly higher than I put the first colour Torch. So that's the key. With each lighter colour, so initially I used the black pencil, which I kept as close as I could to the waterline, to the lash line, sorry. So with each lighter eyeshadow colour, take it a little bit higher. So that's what will really give the smoky smudged effect. The first time you try this, it probably might not be your best attempt, but practice makes perfect, so keep going. And even if it feels like it's not blending away, it actually will be. So I'm just still pressing Flammable, and this is about my 10th press of Flammable. So patience is key. So hopefully everyone can see that that's just a bit of a smudgy, smoky liner. But what I do need to do, and this is where it really starts to look like having that smoky effect, is go back in with the black pencil and focus it just as close to the lash line as possible. So you're just literally smudging that into the root of the lash line. I'm going to take the smaller brush again now, the JS10 brush, and I'm going to go in with this black shade, which is called Smokescreen, and I'm just keeping this shade as close to the root of the lashes as I possibly can. So I'm also going to be doing the underneath of the eye. So I'm just going to be taking the MAC Cosmetics pencil, and I'm just going to be putting this in the waterline. So I'm going to be setting the pencil in the waterline with the shade Smokescreen. And by setting, I just mean I'm literally just pressing this black shadow on top of the eyeliner pencil. I'm not going to rub that, because obviously the waterline is a very sensitive area. Like, is there anything worse than when you get pure eyeshadow flakes on your actual eyeball? Oh. So then I'm going to be taking the bigger brush, which was the JS11 brush, and I'm going to be going back in with Torch, and this is just to blend the black on the waterline, just to make it look nice and smoky. I'm going to be going back in now with the Morphe Jeffree Star JS6 brush, and I'm going to be taking the shade Flammable, and I'm just going to be running this underneath the waterline. because to get a really smoky effect that all ties together quite well, you need to do what you've done to the top, you need to like do that to the bottom of the eye as well, I believe anyway. I think that's the best way. It looks like the most tied together and well blended if you do to the top as you do to the bottom. So now what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be taking the Morphe M433 and I'm just going to be taking Dark Deepest to run this under the waterline. So this is the last step now in this eyeshadow. So yeah, I'm just going to be running Dark Deepest just very gently underneath so that everything ties together. I'm also going to be putting on some lashes. I am really sorry, but I don't actually know what lashes these are, so I don't even actually want to hazard a guess because I just really have no idea. But they're more of like a cat eyelash. You can see they go from small and then on the outer edge they go quite feline. But first, Fenty Beauty Full Frontal Mascara. This is literally one of my favourite mascaras ever. It is amazing. It really, really does do the trick. And it's cruelty free as well, which is even more special. So I'm just taking that mascara to the roots of my eyelashes and I'm just wiggling it so I can separate my actual lashes. And looking down while I do this. And then just putting a little bit of mascara on the tips of my eyelashes. So I'm just going to be going in with some Eyelaw Lash Adhesive and I'm just going to be applying a thin layer. I always apply more to the inner corner of the lash band and the outer corner because that is where lashes tend to peel up from, and that does the trick for making them stay down all day. So this glue, it's a bit like looks like a bit of a violety tinge, but it does dry clear, which is good. And then while you're waiting for the glue to be a little bit tacky, I always just wiggle the lash band so it's a bit easier to manoeuvre onto your actual eyelashes. So I always wait about 20 seconds or so and then I'll apply the lash to give the glue a little chance to just dry down. I'm just going to take my tweezers and I've got a little handheld mirror with a little Fenty Beauty compact, so I'm just looking down into this and I just sort of drop the lash onto my own natural eyelashes. So then from there, obviously it's not on right now, but I can just sort of, as long as it's stuck on in the middle, I can just position the inner corner and the outer corner where I actually want them. And I'll just use the tweezers to press this lash to my actual lash. So I'm just going to fan the glue down and that'll just help it dry. Now that that's on, I'm just going to pinch together. And obviously, I've used these lashes before, so at some point I would have like cut the lash band down to fit my eye size, but that's like really, really, really important in putting on false eyelashes. If the lashes are too long for your own natural eye, they will always come off, always, and they'll be really irritating. And then when your eye gets irritated, it will water, which will then loosen the glue. So yeah, you need to make sure that the actual lash that you buy, you need to make sure that you've measured it up to your eye to see if it actually fits. I'm going to do the other eye off camera and then I will also do the skin. And then I will be back to show you the full completed finished look. I hope that you all enjoyed it because I just want to do something so beginner friendly. So guys, this is the finished look. I've applied all face products now. Yeah, like short tutorial, but let's keep it short and sweet. I hope that everyone actually learned something today. And if anyone does have any questions, then drop me a comment down below or follow me on Instagram. I will leave my Instagram somewhere on screen. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next tutorial.